Hello, little children. It is Esmeralda back with you. I am on location again in Plymouth. Let us start our newest book. We are today going to read Amelia Bedelia, who is one of my favorites. Well, she is quite silly, and I do like being quite silly. So this is by Peggy Parish. Let us see what she has to say in this one. Oh, Amelia, let us meet you. It is quite windy, and I do apologize. Oh, Amelia Bedelia, your first day at work, and I can't be here, but I made a list for you. You do just what the list says Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers got in the car with Mr. Rogers, and they drove away. Oh my, what nice folk. I am going to like working here, said Amelia Bedelia. Oh, and she sees the glorious list and goes over to it. Amelia Bedelia went inside. Such a grand house. These must be rich folks. But I must get to work. Here I stand just looking, and me with a whole list of things to do. Amelia Bedelia stood there for a moment longer. I think I will make a surprise for them. I'll make a lemon meringue pie. I do make good pies. So Amelia Bedelia went into the kitchen. She put on a little of this and a little pinch of that into a bowl. She mixed and she rolled. Soon her pie was ready to go into the oven. There, she said, that is done. Now, let's see what this list says, Amelia Bedelia read. Change the towels in the green bathroom. Amelia Bedelia found the green bathroom. Those towels are very nice. Why change them, she thought. What silliness are they about? Then Amelia Bedelia remembered what Mrs. Rogers had said. She must do just what the list told her. Well, all right, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia got some scissors. She snipped a little here, she snipped a little there, and she changed those towels right up. There, said Amelia Bedelia. She looked at her list again. Dust the furniture. Oh my. Did you ever hear tales of such silly things? At my house, we undust the furniture. But to each his own way. Amelia Bedelia took one last look at the bathroom. She saw a big box with the words, dusting powder on it. It does indeed say dusting powder. Let us see what she chooses to do. Well, look at that. A special powder to dust with, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. So, Amelia Bedelia dusted the furniture. That should be dusty enough, I think. My, how nice it smells. Do you think she will get in trouble for this? Draw the drapes when the sun comes in, read Amelia Bedelia. She looked up. The sun was coming in. Amelia Bedelia looked at the list again. Draw the drapes. That is what it says. I'm not much of a hand at drawing, but I will try. So Amelia Bedelia sat right down and she drew those drapes as best she could. I think she's doing a marvelous job. Honestly, she's even got the little headdress there. Amelia Bedelia marked off the drapes. Now what? Put the lights on when you finish in the living room. So Amelia Bedelia thought about this a moment. She switched off the lights. Then she carefully unscrewed each bulb. She's quite silly, Amelia. And Amelia Bedelia put the lights out. So those things need to be aired out too, just like pillows and babies. Who knew? Oh, I do have a lot to learn, she says. "My pie!" exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. She hurried to the kitchen. "Just right," she said. She took the pie out of the oven and put it on the table to cool. Then she looked at the list. "What do you think could possibly be the next on the list?" "Thank you, Great Spirit." "That's next," said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia found 2 cups. She filled them with rice. And Amelia Bedelia measured that rice. Oh, I apologize. It says measure 2 cups of rice. And she measured that rice to see how tall are 2 cups of rice. Amelia Bedelia laughed. "These folks do want me to do funny things." Then she poured the rice right back into the container. "The meat market will deliver a steak and a chicken." I can't even imagine what is going to happen here. "Please trim the fat before you put the steak in the icebox. And please dress the chicken." When the meat arrived, Amelia Bedelia opened the bag. She looked at the steak for a long time. "Yes," she said, "that will do nicely." She is deep in thought, you can see by her little finger on her cheek. I do like her little headdress. Well, Amelia Bedelia got some lace and bits of ribbon, and Amelia Bedelia trimmed that fat before she put the steak in the icebox. "Oh, now I must dress the chicken. Oh, I wonder if she wants a he chicken or a she chicken," she asks. Amelia Bedelia went right to work. Soon the chicken was finished. Do you think she chose a he chicken or a she chicken to dress it in? Amelia Bedelia heard the door open. "The folks are back," she said. She rushed out to meet them. "Oh, Amelia Bedelia, why are the lights outside?" asked Mr. Rogers. "Well, the list just said put the lights out," said Amelia Bedelia. "I didn't say to bring them back in. Oh, I hope they didn't get too aired out for too long." "Amelia Bedelia, the sun will fade the furniture. I asked you to draw the drapes," said Mrs. Roger. I did, madam. See?" said Amelia Bedelia. She held up her picture. "I drew them." Then Mrs. Rogers saw the furniture. She cried, "The furniture! Oh, did I dust it well enough, madam? That is such nice dusting powder." Oh, poor madam, she even drops her bag. She is so quite in shock as to what has happened. Perhaps that is not quite what she meant. Mr. Rogers went to wash his hands. "I say," he called, "these are very unusual towels." Mrs. Rogers dashed into the bathroom. "Oh, my best towels," she said. "Didn't I change them enough?" asked Amelia Bedelia. Mrs. Rogers went to the kitchen. "I'll cook the dinner. Where is the rice I asked you to measure?" "Oh, I put it back into the container. But I do remember it measured 4.5 inches, said Amelia Bedelia. "Was the meat delivered?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "Why, yes, it was," said Amelia Bedelia. "I trimmed the fat, just like you asked. It looks quite nice." Mrs. Rogers rushed to the icebox. She opened it. "Lace, ribbons, oh dear," said Mrs. Rogers. Do not think that is what she meant. "The chicken, you dressed the chicken?" asked Mrs. Rogers. "Yes, I found the nicest box to put him in." "Box!" exclaimed Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers hurried over to the box. She lifted the lid. There lay the chicken, and he was just as dressed as he could be. He has little socks on, you see. Could you imagine? What would you do, little children, if you came home and saw your dinner dressed in a cute little outfit like this? Would you be excited? Mrs. Rogers was angry. Oh, she was quite angry. She opened her mouth. Mrs. Rogers meant to tell Amelia Bedelia she was fired, but before she could get the words out, Mr. Rogers put something in her mouth. It was so good. Mrs. Rogers forgot about being angry. It looks like her pie. "Lemon meringue pie!" she exclaimed. "Oh, I made it to surprise you, madam," said Amelia Bedelia happily. So right then and there, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers decided that Amelia Bedelia must stay. So stay she did. Mrs. Rogers learned to say undust the furniture, unlight the lights, close the drapes, and things like that. For when we say what we mean, it is far easier for others to understand and give us what we need. Mr. Rogers didn't care if Amelia Bedelia trimmed all of his steaks with lace. All he cared about was having her there to make lemon meringue pie. And it looks like she made another glorious pie the very next day. So hopefully they have now come to an understanding. Say what you mean, ask for what you want, and get it you shall. And may you all get what you want on this glorious day. And may you always have joy and sunshine and laughter in your homes. Have fun. Until next time.